What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Ultimate Miles Morales. Quick water break. Refreshing. Why'd I pause so long? If you didn't see my previous review, which you should low-key go check that out, because I'm recording the past couple vids in the same night. If you hear a fan in the background, it's because it's hot as hell and I'm dying. And it's the only thing vaguely keeping me alive, but I don't want to run the air conditioner because it's just a bit too loud and too muddied, but I still need something to keep me alive in this heat. But yeah, anyway, like I said, this is the Marvel Legends Ultimate Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe, even though I'm pretty sure that's the universe he originated in. So it's kind of just like OG comic Miles Morales. That's basically what it is. This figure is an interesting one because I wasn't originally gonna buy it, because when I saw it get announced, I was actually like, yo, that's cool, a comic Miles, I can't wait to get it. Then I saw the pics and I was like, oh my god. Again, I feel like there's a good bit of turmoil around this figure, rightfully so. You can't really see it with this pose that I got him in right now, but also, quick, peep the pose. What the hell is this? But when you bring him in, suddenly you start to see something here, and that's his horridly wide giant hips. Yeah, this was a big thing when this figure got announced, because everyone, including me, was like, wow, that looks bad. That does not look good. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on it. And I did, but then I saw him pop up in store, and I was like, wow, cool, Marvel Legends in stores. What? And I saw him a couple times, and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about, should I get him? Should I get him? Because I don't have a comic Miles Morales, and I was like, it'd be really cool to have a comic Miles Morales. And as heartbreaking as it is to say, this is probably the best comic Miles Morales we have right now. Because the other one, which was on the Ultimate Spidey body, old, and I have him that body before, and I broke it. And it didn't really pose well. And this one's got loaded with articulation, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it, see what it's like. And honestly, it's not too bad. I think he's cool. He does have a good amount of problems though, which I will get into, aside from the obvious. But yeah, I wanted Miles because Miles is cool. Love Miles. And when I really sat and thought, I was like, this really is the most up-to-date main comic suit Miles we have. I was like, it's been a shocking amount of time since we've gotten like a proper new, like, the suit comic Miles, considering we get a new red and blue Spidey every 5 seconds. So that's why I'm a little sad they dropped the ball a bit, because who knows how long it'll be before we get a new one. But yeah, anyway, before we get into this interesting figure, take a look at the packaging. This is the, like, God, is it a throwback to Toy Biz? I don't know, but it's carded and it has a little comic book accessory. I don't know. I feel like they just be doing. I feel like they ran out of ideas for Bath figures, so they've just been trying to think of weird, interesting ways to put them on cards, which I'm honestly alright with, because then you can cut the bubble off, and it's easier to keep the package, because I do that, because I hate myself, and I hate having space in my house. But yeah, anyway, comic accessory. Ultimate Miles Morales. Got a couple nice shots in the back. Miles Morales #1. Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man. And then on the back, gotta look at everyone else in the wave. And then a shot of the comic. This, I assume, is the first comic from the Miles Morales series. I assume that's what all these are, like, their first, like, comic appearance with this design. I don't know. But anyway, in Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1, Miles must work to overcome the disappearance of his father and aftermath of the battle with Galactus. Wasn't expecting that. Also, I thought his father died. No, wait, that's his uncle. I think I'm thinking of the video game. I'm thinking of the video game because his dad dies in the video game. Does his dad die in the comics too? Because I know they're hinting that his dad dies in the movie. I don't know. Anyway, other figures in the wave got Daken, Wolverine, not gonna buy him. Adam Warlock, not gonna buy him. Marvel's Banshee, not gonna buy him either. Rom, probably not gonna buy him, but I've heard he's really fun. So it just depends. Already done a review on Ultimate Iron Man, and now we're on Ultimate Spider-Man. So bringing Mr. Morales in here, he comes with a good amount of accessories. I was looking at the wrong stack, because I think I mentioned in the beginning, I'm recording multiple videos. I was looking at the stack of hands from the previous recording, which was the Black Suit Spidey, and it's an interesting stack. On him now is a fist and a thwip. If you see my other Spidey reviews, you know I throw a fist and a thwip, and thankfully, they've allowed us to have a fist and a thwip on this side, because that's how I like it. But he does come with another thwip, but only another thwip. You don't get another fist, which sucks. But it's painted decently. But you do get an open hand. Oh yeah, I guess for the comic. Well, spoiler alert, even though I've mentioned it many times. And then you get one singular wall-crawling hand. Kind of annoying. Again, it doesn't bother me because these will be the hands that stay on until the day I die. But I know people like to pose their figures, put them in cool dynamic poses, put on cool interesting displays, and only having like one wall crawling and one fist. Annoying. But he does also come with, like the Iron Man before him, a comic, which looks cool. This is probably what took out those hand accessories, but it looks cool. Marvel Legends series. And he can grab it and read about himself? Question mark. But a really cool accessory he does come with is an unmasked head. Look at that. That looks really good. I would take an unmasked head any day over multiple hands because I actually use unmasked heads. Popping them on, and dare I say, looks a little big. He just has really weird proportions. Like, his proportions are very wonky, but the unmasked head does look really good. Aside from that, I think the photoreal looks nice. I don't really have any reference for what Comic Miles looks like, but this looks like the vague shot of his face we get there. But yeah, really like it, think it looks good. So yeah, let's just get into this figure. He is wonky as hell. I feel like the head is really big for the rest of the body, and I kind of clocked what's going on with the hips, because he looks really oddly proportioned, and it's because I feel like the legs are too high. Because when you pull the legs down like this, I feel like suddenly he's way more proportionate. Just pretend like that's filled in for a second, because suddenly his legs don't look like they're super short. Like, let's just take a look at it from the back, because you don't see the gap as much. Doesn't that look more proportionate, like proper? Because, like, I don't know, just when the legs are up like that, he looks really small. Like, his legs need to be longer, something needs to be longer. And when you pull it down like this, I feel like, number one, it gets rid of that weird gap, but then also I feel like gives him the length that he kind of needs. But then when you, like, push it up, it just goes out so far, and I don't know why. Especially if this is in a 100% brand new sculpt, which I believe it is. I don't think the legs are reused, because if the legs are reused, then I'd understand why he looks so bad, because it's reuse. But I don't believe this is reuse, unless I'm mistaken. Hold up, let me grab something. Never mind, I'm crazy. I remember, like, mid-sentence that we did technically get a Miles that was in this suit, and I was like, maybe they reused the legs, but nope, because these are way shorter, and also this has sculpt, so I don't know what's up with him proportionally, which it sucks, because besides that, it's a decent figure. I mean, the paint apps look great. The head sculpt's cool. I kind of hate the squinting eyes. I wish he had bigger eyes. I'm just not a fan of thinner eyes. But, like, the webbing looks great. Love the red on black. It's such a good design. I think whoever cooked that up burned down the whole studio with how fire that was. But yeah, I got the Spidey logo there, and just the webbing is clean on this figure. The paint overall is really good. It just sucks that he's just really proportionally weird. Then the arms, I feel like they're scarily thin. Whenever I move it, I'm afraid that's gonna snap, but that's because I've snapped that on my old Ultimate Spider-Man Spidey. I'd be wary of that. Also, an interesting thing I noticed, his thwip, he doesn't have the thumb out. Like, I noticed that while messing with him, and I was like, something's weird about the hand, but I can't pinpoint what it was. And I was like, that's interesting. I've never had a Spidey do that before. I don't know if that's, like, something he does specifically in the comics, but it's interesting that they added it to the sculpt. I mean, it's cool, it adds a bit of uniqueness to him, but it's interesting. But yeah, and then you get to these legs. Interesting. But yeah, horridly proportioned, but I can't lie, he's kind of fun to pose. Like, they went all out with the articulation. He has, like, phenomenal articulation. So let's get to that. He has a ball hinge, which, if you've seen any of my Spidey reviews, you know I love, because you can get him looking up like that, and then look down really well, rotate, arm moves up that far, butterfly joint, which moves really well, bicep, terrifying bicep, double jointed elbow, which is scary to bend because of that bicep, rotation and a hinge in and out. Then you got a diaphragm ab crunch, which goes pretty far back and really far forward. And then, of course, rotates. Blah, blah, blah. You got the drop down hips, which I don't usually like, but it does allow to get some decent kick. Can do the splits. Can't really go too far back. But thigh rotation, double jointed knee, boot cut, hinge up and down, and a rocker. He has, granted, wonky proportions, but great articulation. And I can't lie, I've been having a lot of fun posing him with with Spidey and all my other figures. It's like, yeah, he's not perfect, but at the same time, I still like him. Like, I know most of this video has been me just absolutely ragging on this figure so far because of the really awkward proportions, because that was like, for a hot minute, that was a deal breaker for me. But I decided to bite the bullet and buy him anyway, just because I wanted a comic Miles. And I can't lie, he's not perfect, but he's fun. Little wary about them not biceps, but like that joint there. But he's still a fun figure, I can't lie. And he is tiny. Because for comparison, good as a good transition compared to the previous review's transition, which was horrid. Here he is next to a Black Series and a Transformers, Shockwave, and Commander Cody. And for once, the Black Series towers over the Legends. Never happens. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, here he is next to DC McFarlane Black Manta and Jazzwares Halo CE Master Chief. And for some Spidey comparisons, here he is next to that previous Miles and Gwen is awkwardly taller than him. So is other Miles. That's what I'm saying. The legs are too short. It's fully the legs problem, because when you extend them, he gets a bit more height and suddenly he looks a bit better. I've seen people either swap legs with another figure or like some change it up or like do something to where it's not as horridly bad, and it actually makes the figure look great. I feel like most of like the nitpicks would be alright. It's just mostly the legs. Like if you just gave him new legs, I feel like this would honestly be a phenomenal figure, because it's really just this area that's really it's just the legs really taking this figure out, because it makes him just a tad bit too small and it looks like that. But yeah, like waist up, really good figure. Waist down, buns. Anyway, who else do we have? I'll grab a couple other boys. Also, here he is next to the Gamerverse Miles. And again, this Miles just got so much height on this Miles. But they look really cool together. And finally, not finally, I don't know why, Iron Man. He looks really small next to Iron Man, which may be the next review. Depends on if I want to make another vid after this. The heat hasn't fully gotten to me yet, though, so I might. And here he is next to a couple Spideys. Here he is next to Renew Your Vows Spidey, but with the Vulture Spidey 2-pack head. And here he is next to the again, is it Maximum Series? I keep forgetting what it's called. I think it's Maximum Series Spider-Man, also with a head swap. This is the Superior Spider-Man's alternate head. I did mention in this vid that I might swap the heads because I just prefer a rounder Spidey head with like kinder eyes. I really like the eyes on this, and again the rounder head versus the more like flat, sharper eyed head. It's funny, you either get a Spidey that has a phenomenal body and a mediocre head, or a phenomenal head and a horrid body. Nothing's worse than the Renew Your Vows head sculpt. I hate that Spidey mask so much. But this Spidey's mask is great, but then the body sucked. And yeah, they look really cool together. This is gonna be my main duo right here. And again, I feel like he just looks too small. Again, it's those legs. But besides that, they still look really cool together. It's nice getting a Spidey and a Miles together like this. Whether or not this design really goes with this, because I doubt the McFarlane Spidey ever interacted with a Miles, but you know, I don't care. This is my favorite Spidey figure, and this is my only Comic Miles figure, again, aside from this guy, but, like, this isn't the classic suit. So, yeah, in conclusion, do I recommend this figure? It's hard to say, because I do enjoy it. But I can understand how someone would see this and instantly write it off, because I also did. I think he, despite his faults, is a fun figure. But man, them faults are bad. It really just boils down to if he just had different legs, because if you look at him like this, that's just a good looking Spidey figure. It's the legs that completely ruin it. So I don't know. I might try to look and see if there's somehow a figure I can find to swap the legs on. I probably can't. But yeah, he's still a fun figure. And if you do want a Comic Miles and don't want to go on eBay and drop probably an insane amount, I would recommend him. I recommend him, but be wary. That is what I will say. I shall give him a number rating based off nothing but how I'm feeling in the moment of a 6.5 out of 10. Because, again, waist up, really good Spidey figure. Waist down, buns. But yeah, that's about it. Don't think I've had a figure with this much to talk about in a minute, because usually it's like, oh, I either really like it or I don't review it because I don't like it. But I usually don't really buy figures that I don't like. I'm usually locked in. It's usually the impulse purchases that get me. But I don't regret buying him. I still think he's a fun figure and a welcoming addition to my collection. Almost said addiction. Well, this is an addiction in a way, because, you know, like, do I need these plastic figures? No, but, like, they bring me joy. Anyway, like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. I feel like I'm banging out. I was, like, going Black Series for a minute, but now I feel like I'm just banging out nothing but Legends. And the next vid might be a Legends review as well. If I got the willpower for another video. The heat's kind of starting to get to me now. Anyway, also check out my Instagram, MoonandXO. I don't really post much post-wise. I post my story every day, but, like, I don't post much. But when I do, it might be music related. But also, I don't really post that all. Hopefully, you're having a good day. Hopefully, you take care of yourself in this heat. It is brutal out here, like Olivia Rodrigo said. So hopefully, take care of yourself. As a siren. Ooh. Stay hydrated. Stay goated. Stay alive, like the Bee Gees were saying. And peace out.